Hi, I'm Mark from Unicook. Welcome to our Airis Sense installation video guide. Whether you're an electrician installing Airis for a vulnerable person, or if you're a technician installing many units in apartments, student accommodation, general residential, or if you're a telecare provider, the steps are always the same. Airis Sense works for all types of electric hobs and freestanding cookers. Let's get started.
Okay, so installing Airis Sense Stove Guard is straightforward. There are two components: multi-sensor which fits on the wall above the hob or cooker, and the power control unit, which we call the PCU, which interrupts the power from the supply to the cooker. We also have variants for mounting the multi-sensor on the extraction hood or on the ceiling, which might be needed, for example, if a hob is fitted in an island. The multi-sensor and PCU have a two-way wireless link, so there's no chasing of walls or any routing of cables between the two devices. The power controller, as well as cutting the power off to the appliance, also monitors the power going through to the cooker, and it's able to work out what type of hob is in use, whether that be halogen, metal plate or induction, and inform the multi-sensor, which then takes this into account when it's analysing the safety of the cooking. We recommend in most circumstances that you use the default setting for the quickest and simplest installation. In essence, that means installing the PCU, mounting the multi-sensor and performing a 5-second test. If you need to mount the multi-sensor at a different height to the default, or if you want to use any of the more advanced settings, this is done using the Saphira app, which we'll cover in another video. The multi-sensor can be mounted with the pre-fitted high bond tape, or it can be screwed onto the wall if the surface is unsuitable for the tape. In general, if the surface is non-porous and flat, the VHB tape is all that's needed. So for stainless steel, composites, glass and other ceramics, the VHB tape provides a very secure fixing. Okay, let's take a look inside the PCU. Here's one which we've pre-wired. So if we open this up, you'll see there's plenty of space for wiring. There are two ports at the end with grommets supplied. There's a small circular breakout at the back of the PCU in case you wanted to fit the PCU directly over a Patris box. Most electricians though prefer to use the two ports at the end. In front of the two ports are the cable restraints, and here are the two terminal blocks. These cater for twin and earth or stranded cables up to 10mm. On the left you've got the two neutral connections in the live feed. On the right hand side is the live out. The PCU is double insulated, so it doesn't need to be earthed, so a connector is supplied to join the incoming and outgoing earth wires. At the other end of the printed circuit board here, you can see the two auxiliaries. These are volt-free connections for connection to telecare systems. Please note though that Airis Sense prevents fires, and therefore you should never connect it to a fire alarm system. Now let's talk about mounting the PCU. If Airis Sense is being installed with a standalone cooker, it would be normal to install the PCU on the wall near the floor behind the cooker, or it can optionally be installed in an adjacent kitchen cupboard, for example, as the PCU doesn't have any user controls. This provides more flexibility for installation. If Airis Sense is being installed on a hob built into a worktop such as this one, the PCU can be mounted behind the oven if there is one near the top, or alternatively the PCU could again be mounted in an adjacent kitchen cupboard or under the plinth. So when it comes to installing the multi-sensor, it's essential to ensure that the wall is perfectly clean and flat. Don't use a cleaning product that leaves a residue, as this could weaken the adherence of the VHB tape over time. Instead, use the alcohol wipes provided to complete the cleaning. Now we're ready to mount the multi-sensor backplate on the wall. So first remove the multi-sensor from the backplate using a screwdriver. Next, peel the protective backing from the high bond tape pads on the back. And press the rear casing to the wall, making sure to mount it the right way up and in the centre of the hob horizontally and at the correct height. The default height is around 50cm. Now place the 6 batteries into the backplate in pairs, one above another, from left to right. In this way the batteries will support themselves. When all 6 batteries are in place, press firmly on the batteries with the heel of the palm of your hand to exert pressure on the high bond tape. This is to make sure the entire surface of the tape makes contact with the wall. If this technique isn't used, there's a risk that the multi-sensor will detach from the wall in the following weeks. Now place the remaining 3 batteries into the back of the white cover. And finally, carefully place the multi-sensor cover over the rear casing so that it clicks into place and meets the wall. Fitting the multi-sensor is now complete.
We hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, you can give us a call or use the contact form on our website and one of our team will be happy to help.